Hey y'all, thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Life Goes On podcast with your girl Kianna J. So today we have another episode, continuing on from the White End episode last week. As I said last week, we want to talk to a police officer also because we want to see where the disconnects come in from. So I do have one of my family members is a police officer, a Chicago police officer. His name is Nunu, and we're gonna add him to the stage. Nunu, welcome.
What's up, cuz?
What's going on, cousin? How you doing?
But I'm here.
I'm glad you was able to take the time to do this. I know you're very busy with the job that you have. So I appreciate this from you. I did try to get a Milwaukee police to come in, but they looked at me like I was crazy and told me no. So I'm glad I got you on here.
No, you all good, cuz.
Okay, so last week I want to start off like last week. As y'all know, I was in the group chat and I was telling y'all about the YNs that I had on that was coming in. So we ended up with one. And he had mentioned that he do not trust the police. He don't like the police, and he would not call the police if he was in trouble. And I'm trying to figure out where the disconnect is when it comes to police officers and the people out here in the streets that the police are arresting, right? So my question is to you is where you think the disconnect is in that.
I think that disconnect started a long time ago, with the different communities trusting the police. When I got the job, that was my biggest goal, and it still is my biggest goal. I'm trying to build that bridge, but build that bridge uh, between the minorities and the police officers, because it's a huge gap there. And I work in an all black community, and we're starting to get a couple of Hispanics in our area where I work at. But it's just being having the police presence. Back in the day when there wasn't no cameras or anything like that, nobody wanted cameras and stuff. Like I feel like police officers could police how they wanted to police. Some of them was in their comfort zone, and some of them outside of their comfort zone. But now it's a different, huge difference now because at the end of the day, all these I'm not gonna say YNs, I'm gonna just use the term of individuals or suspects. Um Everybody is born equal, in my opinion. When
Mm.
you make these decisions and drastic changes in your life, that's when you become a suspect or individual. Um and I feel like the bad talk about police comes from the criminals. Yeah, we do have everybody in different families that has been in jail or has committed a couple crimes and stuff, but you can't look at them as somebody that's different just because they made one or two mistakes. And I do believe in giving second chances, for the most part, unless it's like it's you a murderer and we it's on camera clear as day. But other than that, like that gap started a long time ago, and it's up to all police officers like myself and my team that I'm on to help bring everybody back together.
Do you think okay, so we got to go back. We got to go back to before we were born, right? Policing the black communities, right?
Right,
Back in the 1960s Jim Crow era, correct? Well, police were just abusing people just to abuse them, right?
right,
Then you move back to now times with the things that's happening with the Sandra Bland's and all them. When they group a lot of black police officers in with the some of the bad white police officers, do you get the blunt of that also?
Yeah, we do. I mean, I don't think that cycle gonna ever change. But like I said, it's up to officers like myself and my team. We we try to separate ourselves from anything that has happened in the past, or that's happening right now in this present time. The biggest thing that we do, we we love policing in the community and in the neighborhoods that we work in. We get out and talk to the people. You know, we ride down. Sometimes it's three of us in the car, four of us in the car, or if it's two of us in the car. We all still talk to the neighborhood every day. Every day they like, I'm like, hey, what's up, man? How you doing, man? How's everything going? To a complete stranger I never even seen before. You know what I'm saying? Like I want because at the end of the day, the community has to feel comfortable with us in the community. You know what I'm saying? And I don't wear a uniform at work. I'm on a tag team in my district. So the biggest thing is gaining the community trust.
He went out. Can you still hear him? He went out. You on mute?
Yeah, yeah, I muted it.
Okay. Um, do you think the police force is needed? Some people say, and I'm gonna say this because he said this last week. Some people say I don't think the police force is needed. I think they tried to defund y'all once upon a time too. But do you think the police force is needed? Do you think civilians can police their own neighborhoods?
Nah, police is definitely needed. Um, just imagine somebody, it's a shooting on the block or something like that,
Mm.
and the ones that live on the block is out here trying to police and find out who who shot that gun or who tried to break into somebody else. Like that's gonna stir up on a whole nother pot that people don't understand. When we get called, it's because I'm not gonna say people usually trust the police because they don't. But when we get calls, we have to go. It's something that we signed up for. I took an oath when I got out the police academy or before I got out the police academy, that I'm never off duty. So even if I'm out with my family, or we had a family function and something goes on next door, I have the duty to intervene. And I have to because if the police come there and they like, oh well, my neighbor has a relative that's a police officer and he's right there, like I'll get in trouble for that. You know what I'm saying? So like the police is definitely needed. I'm not gonna say that I've never called the police because I know I have, you know, growing up and stuff like that. After just growing up on the west side was different. I'm a south side native now, but growing up on the west side is definitely different from the south side. Like it was a lot of shootings and stuff growing up, a lot of drug dealing on the block and stuff like that. One thing that I did do, I went to a beat meeting with my grandfather before. When I was younger, I probably was like 10 or 11 or something like that. And I definitely back then I was like, why am I going to this meeting? Why is the older people that live in these communities trying to change the community? But now that I'm an adult and I'm a police officer, I also see where they're coming from as adults and as civilians and as people on the block. Like they want their neighborhood safe, just like I want my neighborhood safe, so that my kids can go outside every day. So I understand the dynamics of contacting police or just being involved with the community as a police officer.
You are a police officer in one of the most violent cities in the United States. Um, Chirac. How let's go by like how much crime do you see in one police shift? Like like just give me a round off. Like
I can't even give you an exact number. It's a lot. It's a lot. I'm not even gonna lie. When I first got on the job in 2022, I didn't know what I was signing up for. I'm like, all right. I was engaged at the time. I just got engaged, just joined the force. So I'm like, all right, spend my time in the academy, got out the academy and graduated. And the district that I started off in, um, it wasn't a lot of crime. There wasn't a lot of crime in the district I started off in. But then when I got sent to the district where I'm at now, which is my home district and where I plan on retiring from, I learned how to, be the police and still be active in the community as a police officer. But yeah, it's not even a number that I can say
I know. I
about.
was just trying to like get like a roundish, cause like in a shift, like y'all work what 12 hour shift,
No, 9 hours.
9 hours.
Not, but that 9 hours can turn into 16 hours, or it can turn into 12 hours, 16 hours within a matter of seconds. You know what I'm saying? So
Did you mute yourself again?
no, 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 I didn't.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. So my thing is, okay, you in your home district, which is most likely probably the south side.
yeah.
So now because you grew up on the west side, I know that. But now that you on the south side, is it a big difference in the crime? Or because it's always been a debate on which side is worse, the west or the south?
I'm not gonna lie, Southside dirty. It's like a different dirty though. It's been on the west side. I felt like everybody that I knew growing up as a kid, and now we all adults. Like, if something go down, out west is more like a tight knit family.
Mm.
Um, And that's what my wife tell me all the time. Like, you go out west, we see somebody you always know. Like, yeah, like everybody out west. We grew up on love, and out west is very family oriented. But I can't lie. And there's some shooters and some carjackers and all the above out west too. But just being on the south side is different. Like I can't say that out west is very is a very good place. But you know what I'm saying. At the end of the day, where I come from, 290 is crazy. So comparing that to the South Side, I can't really do that right now. Like the South, because the South Side is just different. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole different vibe. You got, and when I first moved out here, I'm like, oh, my wife makes a joke about me all the time. I'm on the phone with her. I'm like, yeah, I'm passing up Halsted and 95th. And she like, you mean 95th and Halsted? Well, I'm like, well, out west, we got two street names. Like, oh, I'm on Madison and Austin. Oh, okay. Or I'll be like, I'm about to pull up on Austin and Madison. It's kind of like the same thing. But out south, like the South Siders, they take that to the extreme. You're on Halsted and 95th. There is no Halsted and 95th. My bad. I apologize. I'm on 95th and Halsted. But the crime out south is definitely getting up there. Um, it's probably Southside got it right now. I'm not gonna lie.
How do you be feeling about? Because I know, like, do you do pullovers where you pull people over?
Like traffic stops.
Yeah, do you do traffic?
Yeah, yeah.
So do you be showing up to court for those?
Oh, I go to court. Yeah, I go to court for everything. I'm not even gonna lie.
Don't go to court for those. I mean, I got pulled over a couple times for a couple cases. I ain't even lie. For and because the police officer don't pull up to court, so you show up to court.
Yeah, I go to court unless I have unless I have multiple court in the same day.
Mhm.
Sometimes they be at the same time, but I just have to pick and choose which one I'm gonna go to.
Okay, so with the street violence and stuff like that, we be trying to make sure like we pray for you a lot because we know like your job and everything.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
What give me one of the worst, no names, just a worst scenario that you had as a police officer. One of the worst so far,
Mm,
if you can think of one.
it probably had to be a girl went missing and somehow the phone was pinging to address, another Southside address, but it wasn't nowhere near my district.
Mhm.
And we go over there, and it's a dude, black man. You just see him like just kind of like cleaning up and stuff like that inside his apartment. And it looked a little weird, but it was just like, okay, cool. Like we got in, knocked on the door and stuff. And the first thing he said was, "Oh, that's not blood." Like, hmm? So at that point, like, all right, now we starting to investigate and like that math ain't math. So we like, all right, okay. And to find out that it was some sex trafficking going on with this 15-year-old girl, that did hit home for me. because I have a daughter. She's 2 years old right now, but at the end of the day, it's like I'm a parent. I don't want to see nobody kid go through that. Not even even if they were in a foster system or going through DCFS and stuff like that. Like nah, man. Like I don't wish that on nobody's kid or an elderly person. Like those are my biggest two things. Like if you harming a kid or you harming a elderly person, like I believe you should get the death sentence. Honestly, like because that ain't right. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, it's like these kids got their whole life to live, and it goes the same to say like some years ago we lost a kid, Tashawn Lee. He went to my grammar school, and just hearing about that, and I was living out west there, like that kind of hit home because like, all right, man, like he attends my grammar school that I graduated from, and we big on where we come from out west, so it's like that definitely hit home with that gun violence. But yeah, that probably had to be the worst. I didn't sleep for like 2 to 3 days. Um, I was just emotional. And the biggest thing that I've learned with being on this job and being a police officer, you got to talk to somebody. I go to therapy, and I have done therapy since I've been on the job, and that's needed. And I think we come from a society where growing up, if you go to a therapist, it's either like you slow or something is wrong with you. But
Mhm.
now it's like I'm saying it's okay to go to therapy. It's a norm. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how not even police officers, that's just how a lot of people cope with things. You gotta just sit down and talk to somebody about it. And sometimes it's just about having somebody to be an ear for you, a listening ear. So like one thing I did for that situation, I definitely talked to my wife about it, and I was emotional for at least 3 to 4 days, like I said, and it took me a while before I can actually like open up and just talk to other people about it outside my house. Um, because I definitely came home and that was like a 24-hour shift almost. I definitely came home and just lay down and hug my kids. Um, because like I said, it's sad that we have to see that and we gotta live through this society right now because there is a lot of human sex trafficking and uh children sex trafficking going on in the state of Illinois and probably in 49 other states. So that definitely was the probably the worst thing that I've had to go through as being a police officer.
Do you think being a police officer with the mental health issues, because I know it's plenty of mental health issues when it comes to the job that you provide, because you see a lot. You see kids getting hurt, and that's going to bring me back to the question I had before. But with the mental health issues, you be seeing kids getting hurt, women getting hurt, some older elderly people getting hurt. Do the mental health issues, do they interfere with your home life?
Mm, sometimes I'm not gonna lie, like sometimes like I have came home and not trying to take it out on my family, but just like I just be in a drought. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like I'm stuck somewhere and I can't get out. And if I talk about it, I'm just gonna burst out in tears. And I have like taken that out on my family. And when that happens, when I get mad, my wife get mad. It ain't no good thing because both of us can be mad.
Mm,
And after a while, once I cool down, I always reevaluate everything that happened. And I go and apologize to my family because it's like, all right, without y'all, like I don't know what I do. Um, and I know my wife keep me prayed up and stuff all the time. And we have this thing like I don't say like, oh, goodbye. I just say, all right, I'll see you later. I'll see you later when I get home because I'm coming home every day. But that's definitely a thing. Like a lot of people, when I first got on the job, I didn't know how to cope with things and didn't go talk to nobody. Like my twin brother is in law enforcement too. Like I know me and him share some stories all the time.
mm.
But it's a difference because he's inside the prison. I'm outside on the streets. So it's like what he see is kind of similar to what I see, but at the end of the day, it's still kind of different because it's two separate job descriptions. But definitely, like I said, definitely I definitely has taken some things out of my family, and I still do apologize for some of the stuff that when I come home and I just be in a mood where I don't talk to nobody. Like I don't even pick up my phone. Like it was a time I want to say this year in our family group chat, like I didn't talk for at least a couple days. And that was one of the times that I just couldn't talk to somebody. I needed a break from just everything. And like my wife on it, and I'm glad that I do have a loving wife and a caring wife that understands that, sometimes I just need a break. Just like she do, with her profession.
Mhm.
She work with kids. We got two kids. It's like, all right, like I know your day is rough. You dealing with other people's kids. You got to come on and deal with your own kids. So as humans, we all need that just reset button and just to take a break with anything and everything that we do in life.
Yeah, your job is very hard, and with little knuckleheads like some of your little cousins, and and we used to be knuckleheads. That's the thing. Like a lot of people don't understand. Like some of these police officers used to be knuckleheads themselves. You know, so they sometimes do understand a lot of things that goes on in the street. All police officers are not the same. And which brings me back to when you said like the guy that was trafficking the girls, the 15-year-old girl, when they was like, oh, we don't need police. We do need police for things like that. Y'all, the thing about it is, y'all, the a lot of the streets don't understand is mind your business, right?
Yeah.
Don't say nothing. If you see something, don't say nothing. But then on the other hand, it's that girl over there being trafficked, that girl over there being assaulted, the granny over there being assaulted, a woman over there being beat. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Those are some of the things that we do need the police for. Don't you agree?
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. True. I definitely agree with that. It's just hard. Like a lot of people don't think in the black community that domestic violence is real. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's something that I see every day. And it's like it could be as simple as, look, man, just go ahead and leave for a couple hours, man, or just leave for the night and just come back tomorrow. Y'all can work this out. That's one thing being a police officer I've learned to become a good mediator. Like if y'all ain't working, man, like just take that break. Sometimes that separation is needed. On the other hand, and then it'd be like, no, man, I don't want to leave, or she did this is my house, but y'all stay the same house. Like per the state, if you staying somewhere for longer than 30 for past 30 days, you have gained residency. If you got some mail, you gain residency. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it just be like little things like that that people don't understand. You know what I'm saying? So it's like those domestic violent cases, like this human sex trafficking that's going on everywhere, like and the murders. Who gonna solve murders if police officers not around?
Exactly.
The streets. It's just gonna be more people getting killed if the streets do it.
Do you think because of the violence that people are not applying to be police officers?
You can repeat that because it was kind of breaking up on my
I said, you think because of the violence people are not applying to be police officers?
end. Nah, I think the problem with that is people just don't want to be a police officer because they looking at like, all right, like they ain't never helped me, and that was something like with me, like I just applied, and I was just like, all right, like after coming from working with kids and being in the classroom, being a teacher and stuff like that, I was like, I can't go wrong with it. Like, let me just see what I can do.
That's what I want to ask next. What made you go from teaching, a wrestling coach, to a police officer? Like, what made you say, I want to be a police officer in Chicago, Illinois?
Honestly, I had I had applied. Um, well, let me just backtrack. I should have taken a test when my twin brother took that test for his job back in. I think we was like 21 or 22 years old, but at the time I wasn't mature at all for. I'm not gonna say a career job. I wasn't mature for this kind of job, and so that's why I just stuck with the educational field and coaching. Um, and then I'm like, hey man, I'm getting older. I was pushing 30. I'm like, I really need to just solidify a career job. And at the end of the day, like I was like, man, I want to buy a house. I want to have nice things. Not saying that teaching and coaching wasn't paying for it, but it's just a different ball game when you kind of like when you're trying to do better for yourself and you want better for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like I was so complacent at the time from the ages of me being 22 to 27. I was complacent. I was complacent with coming in, helping these people, kids every day. Then going coaching after that, I got really complacent, and I consider myself. I think I was one of the top coaches in the state of Illinois at one point. But then everything shifted when I signed up when I applied for this job back in 2022, maybe. Yeah, back in 2021 when I applied for this job, I met my wife and found out that I was dating a woman who has several police officers in her family. So I'm like, oh, it's different. Like, okay. And talking to her, I'm like, yeah, I applied or whatever. I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna do it. And she was just like, yeah, like it'll be different. You know, something different, get you outside of your norm. And at the time, she's like, well, you're a people person. And I am a people person. I do feel like I can talk to anybody and, you know what I'm saying, like just communicate and relate to people. So I was like, all right, cool. Let me just go ahead and do it. So I took the test. And I'm like, all right, I ain't really no test taker, but I got it. I passed that test and went through the whole procedure of getting in and stuff. And it was still shocking to me. Like, I'm a police officer? Like, what? And February 5th changed my life. That was the day I took my final power test and I proposed to my wife that day. So she's dropping me off to do this power test, this physical test. And I'm just nervous. Like, I'm just like, man, I'm like, if I get this job, like, I feel like my life is gonna change. And not a bad thing. And I was like, I do feel like my life gonna change. And I'm like, I'm still gonna propose it. Even if I don't pass the test, I'm still propose because I got it. It's gonna be some joy out of today. And went in, passed it, and proposed that same day. And from since February 5th, my life has definitely changed. Um, and like I said, I never wanted to be in law enforcement. I just wanted to be a coach for the rest of my life, and that's something that I'm still doing. I still coach. That's part of my mental state. Like that's my peace. That's my safe space when I go to wrestling practice and I go and coach. Right now, I'm currently coaching at home with Baltimore High School. So just being around a group of men, you know what I'm saying, like that's not police officers. They kind of like we had this conversation. They bring me down when
Mhm.
I'm high up and having bad days at work or and stuff like that. Like I know when I walk in this restaurant, these guys are gonna treat me with love. They're gonna treat me with respect, and it's all about the respect and love for me when I step in that restaurant room. Coming from Coach Sacco, who's the head coach, and Home Foster, Coach Basil, Coach Palumbo, Coach Travis, Coach Kendall, like all these guys. Like I've been around Coach Basil and the crew since I was like 21, and I was coaching his oldest son, and now like his oldest son is coaching with us. So it's like all right, like I've been around for a long time, and they like, man, like you a police officer, man? Like yeah, in Chicago, it's crazy. So like I said, everything changed. Got in. I'm not gonna lie, I did have some moments when I was in the academy where I definitely was doubting myself, and I'm like, I can't do it. Like I just need to go back and teach these kids. But I, I'm glad I kept my faith while I was in the academy because it definitely was some hard times, and I'm like I can't do it no more. Like I got a whole family now, and my daughter wasn't even here yet; it was just my son. So I'm like, nah, I was like, can't do it. But after talking to my wife and talking to one of my classmates, it definitely helped. I needed that little push and that motivation because it was a moment I was like, man, I'm gonna be out west. I'm gonna be arrested and such and such. My daddy them know these people, like my family know. I'm like, nah, I can't do it.
Yeah, your daddy and them been around for a long time, so they know everybody out there on the west side. So like,
Yeah,
and then
that's
the
that's
crazy
different.
part about it, like you probably have to arrest people like that will be the like time like Lulu, what's up? Like what?
Yeah,
How
that's it.
have
It'd
you
be
ever
crazy.
somebody you knew?
Nah, I pulled somebody over I knew though. He actually went to my high school, and I didn't know it was him until like after the fact. I'm like, "Man, I know you," and I'm like, man. And then I was in Houston last year for the Bears weekend, and I'm just I ain't used to being in people's sections and getting and doing all that. But when I'm with my cousin DJ, it's a different vibe. You know what I'm saying? We got a section. And when I go out, I enjoy myself. I stand on people's furniture on top of tables, couches,
You have a
islands, whatever.
you have
We
a
have a ball. That's just how our family do it. Like we make sure everybody have fun. And we in this club in Houston, and this dude like, hey, I know you. I'm like, no, you don't know me, bro. He like, yeah, I know you, man. I'm like, no, where you know me from, man? He like, you the police officer. I'm like, no, you might know somebody that look like me, but you definitely don't know me. And he was like, hey, Officer Cobb. I'm like, oh, damn, man. Like, and he definitely said, like, hey, man, thank you, man. You gave me a break, man, blah, blah, blah. And just like, this is my section. Y'all come over and kick it. And I was like, no, I don't be trusting all that. Like, but being a good police officer goes a long way. You know what I'm saying? Like, treating people with respect, and that's something my wife been on me about lately. Uh, not turning up on people, not you know what I'm saying, like not going in on people, just be respectful. And I do have this thing now, like I like, hey, I'm gonna be respectful to you as long as you're respectful to me. You know
Respectful
what I'm
to
saying? Like because I
what I was about to get to. It's a lot of people that when police pull him over or the police come over to say something to them, they get very disrespectful. And how do you deal with that? A lot of police deal with it with brutality, right? Like they
yeah.
can't take the verbal abuse. So they use police force. And that's where it comes in where people are starting to not like the police because of the police force. So what's your opinion on that issue? Like when they're disrespectful and some police force to kind of shut them up, but you will how would you handle that situation?
uh it's a little different. If I'm dealing with adults, I kind of try to bring them back down. Like, hey man, like you up here, man. Let's bring it down. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't yelling at you. But then on the other hand, we do have adults that's completely disrespectful. Like, oh man, your wife do this, blah blah blah. Not like, hey man, like first of all, my wife wouldn't talk to nobody like you.
Mhm,
Second of all, like you're not gonna hurt my feelings. You know what I'm saying? Like, 'cause I know where my wife at. You're not gonna hurt my feelings.
mhm.
Um, I have had adults like try to get in my face, and I don't play that. You ain't I protect my personal space. 2 years ago, I got spit on, and this lady spit. It got in my eyes and in my mouth. And at the time, my daughter was like 3 months, 4 months, probably.
Oh wow.
Nah, she probably was like 4 months or 4 or 5 months. And ever since that happened, I'm like, no, like you get in my personal space, I'm gonna push you, like, cause I don't play that. Like when I go home the same way I came to work, no scratches, no bruises, none of that. I may be a little tired, but that comes with the job. And
Mhm.
like I said, I don't play that. Like if you stepping up to me and you get in my personal space, I'm gonna put my hands on you. And that's only because I'm protecting myself. I don't know what none of these dudes or these females gonna do when if they approach me like that. Um, so with the adults, the adults, they are usually more calm and collected about talking to a police officer. And like when they up here, it's like, hey man, like what can we do? How can we help you today? Like what I'm trying to get you to I try not to use the word calm down. I'm trying to get you to I'm just trying to de-escalate the situation. You know what I'm saying? Like what I gotta do to help you out on your end so that you won't be hostile with the next officer that comes up and tries to talk to you.
Mhm.
And then on the other hand, these kids, they need BTA, belt to ass. Excuse my French. That's what they need. Not gonna lie, and that's one thing I don't take. I don't take no disrespect from no kid. And when I say I have a zero tolerance of disrespect with kids.
Speaking of the children of the community that you police, okay? Do you think, and we talked about this last week, do you think the parents play a big part of their kids being out here in the streets doing what they are doing?
Yeah, they do. Some of these parents know their kids be out here carjacking and taking cars and stuff. Like be like, and then that'd be another thing. Like people like, oh well, he was just an innocent kid. Like blah blah blah. Like come on now, let's be honest. You know what I'm saying? Like at some point, you got to have a real conversation with yourself. Like, all right, did I know my son was out here, or did I know my daughter was out here doing this? Like some of these parents know. Another thing is that I see a lot of working in the black community. Like the parents are friends to their kids. Like, nah, we ain't do that. If you hear two adults talking, you gotta move. You gotta walk away. But
Mhm.
these parents up here discussing their personal information with their kids to their friend, like, no, man, like that's what society went wrong at. Like when we were growing up, we couldn't sit in your mama face or my daddy face, my mama face, or even our older cousins, you know what I'm saying? Like, or even our siblings. If they older than us and we kids, we can't sit in their face and listen to them talk. Like, no, that's not gonna fly. That's not gonna fly. Parents are being friends more than parents nowadays. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's sad to see it. Like, I ain't going. I talked to my son at 5 years old. Me and him have real conversation. Like, hey man, look, what you gonna do when you get older? You gonna be a football player? You gonna be a wrestler? What you wanna do? He's about to start kindergarten. It's like, all right, like, nah, bro. you gonna be in school every day. You gonna get good grades. Gonna do homework, and it also helps my wife as a teacher too. So like, I'm not really worried about none of that. But these kids that I deal with on a daily, nah, you could tell they mamas is they friends. Like, oh, like if you could curse in front of your mama and you 14, 15, 16 years old, that's a problem. I'm
Nah.
31 years old and I might slip out a little bit in front of my mama,
No,
but
no.
yeah, like it's like it's a respect level. You know what I'm saying? That's something that our society had that these kids don't get. Like, and I ain't gonna lie, I've been cursing my whole life. My daddy first words probably was a curse word, so that's where I get it from. And my twin brother and my older brother, like, I think that's just a thing in our family. You know what I'm saying? Like the men we do have some foul mouths. You know what I'm saying? Like, and bringing it back to the job, like, no, hey, because I'm gonna tell a kid like, hey, you just need a good ass whipping. That's what you need, bro.
Mm.
Like that's something that they don't get no more. These parents ain't out here. Oh, they be like, well, you're grounded for a week. He finna be outside in 3 hours or the next hour. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the difference. Like these kids, they don't have respect because they don't respect their own parents. So like, yeah, I deal with these shorties on the daily where they cursing me out, cursing my team out, and that's one thing I don't play. When it come to me and my team, you not finna disrespect nobody on my team, and I'm standing right there.
Do you think the kids nowadays fear the police?
No, no,
You
no. I had a,
know, jail. Like, do you think like they think jail is somewhere to be, or
I think it's a norm. I think it's a norm for this generation. I ain't gonna lie. Like it's definitely a norm. Just dealing with, like I said, dealing with kids on the daily basis. Like you 14, you got a gun. You 13, you got a gun. Like first of all, who gave y'all that gun? What
that's
what made you
where they
what
get
made you carry this gun? You know what I'm saying? Like all these guns that's out here, these are kids that's carrying the guns. You know what I'm saying? Like and it's just sad because it's like, nah, man, like you probably like I talked to one kid a while ago. I'm like, man, I'm like, you probably like sports, don't you? Like, yeah, I play basketball, blah, blah, blah. What made you go this route? Oh, my friends. Oh, so it's always the crowd, right? Or it's just like that peer pressure. Like these kids are young. Majority of the day, they at school with their friends. I guess when they in school, they pretending to portraying to be somebody that they're not. Like that's what a problem happens to them when they go home. They can still act like that and curse in front of their parents, and that leads to other stuff. Like I seen somebody smoking weed with their parent. I'm like, yeah, y'all tripping. Like y'all tripping.
a lot of that going on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially like I said, we grown. I wouldn't. I mean, I smoke a cigar in front of my mama, but I don't smoke weed and nothing like that. Like even with the cigar, I don't smoke it in the house. I step outside or go in the backyard and smoke the cigar. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a difference. But yeah, it's like these kids done took it past smoking hookahs. They doing weed pens. They doing the edibles, popping pills, drinking lean. Like we didn't grow up around that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I do feel like that to a certain extent that social media plays a part in this. Social
Yeah.
media definitely plays a part in it.
I feel like social media plays a part. I feel like the environment, like last week when I had the YNs, I even had my own son on here, because he was arrested um a couple weeks ago. Um, I believe the environment sometimes therein doesn't, and I think a lot of stuff is glorified, like
Mhm.
and the things that they're doing is glorified to the fact that it doesn't scare them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
The uncles and the people that's been in jail, they don't really get out and tell them that's not the place to be. You
they
know, that
don't. Yeah,
it it's not the place you want to go. And I
yeah,
just like remember back in the day, you would have an uncle that's spent some years in jail or a big homie that spent some years in jail come out and be like, "No, little homie, that ain't what you want to do." You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
and give you the details of what goes on in there.
right,
It seems like now the younger generation don't even care and they just feel like it's glorified to go in there until they get there and realize it's not what it's all cracked up to be when your freedom is taken away.
right.
So with that being said, you you have small children as
Mhm.
and as a police officer, because it's always been after police, even when Ice T was rapping it and now he play a police on TV show. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's
yeah, Law and Order. Shout out to Ice T.
Yeah. It's always been F the police, F the police. And so when your kids start, you got small children. So when they start going to school and they be like, F people be like, F police, police is bad. How would you teach your children that all police are not bad?
Well, I'm glad I have this career while my kids are young because they're growing up in the household with the officer. So like my son's he's 5 years old and I asked him what he want to be. He want to be a police officer. You know,
Mm.
he got a whole get up, the whole costume, but the little baby bulletproof vest, got a badge. Like my kids see me going to work every day. My daughter 2 years old. She, Daddy, you want to work? You want to work, Dad? Like I do feel like my kids know that I'm trying to be the change and I'm trying to make a difference in the community that I work in. So I mean, when they get a little older, then we can have that conversation. But for now, like I have had some calls where like the kids be like, "Yeah, all police the same." Like, no, let me stop you right there. We not the same. You know what I'm saying? Like, we not. Like, I'm different from the people I ride in the car with, but at the end of the day, we have a lot of things in common. That's why I get in the car with them every day. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody police different, but it's up to you to find your right crowd and the right. I ain't even gonna say crew, but the right team or the right partner or whatever to be or whoever to be around. And I do feel like at sometimes the people I ride with and the people that's on my team, we do bring out the best in each other. You know what I'm saying? Like even if it's like, all right, we in competition, like who gonna get this week or who gonna do that? Like
I'll
we
have a
do
question about that too, cuz when you finish. Go ahead.
yeah. All right. So yeah, like we do, have those talks and like I tell you right now, it's me and one other guy in my car that I ride with. Hey, you can't talk shit to us because guess what? We're gonna talk it back. Like when and I come from a shit talking family, so it's like, all right, like it's right up my hey, come on, man, just be my guest. Like, come on, just be my guest. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So like that's how and some people I like some people respect police officers when you stand your ground. So like that's the difference. And my kids do see that because I do, give them examples and stuff like that. Well, I give my son an example because he's a little bit older and he's starting to understand what I do. And when I take him to school and stuff, like some days I be in uniform, some days I don't be in uniform. But my son will know, like, all right, bro, you gonna respect the police.
Okay. So the question I have for you, okay, and we're gonna ask this question because I haven't asked it yet. It's a scenario, but it's also a question
Mhm.
surrounding like the George Floyd situation, and the black police officers that killed the man over the girlfriend, right? I forgot the name of the man. Sorry, forgive me, y'all. But if you was to see somebody on your team, because you got to remember your team is your riders, right? Y'all
Mhm.
look after each other. Y'all, them are your partners, right? If you was to see somebody on your team doing something like what happened to George Floyd or somebody that was illegal to harm somebody, would you intervene?
Yeah, we have to. That's a part of that job. We gotta intervene. And I'm not saying like I said, it's a scenario, but speaking outside the scenario, like it's been times where I've had to get pulled back or just like I just take cool off, take a little minute. You know what I'm saying? Like because we go through some stuff that y'all would not even experience going through as a human being.
Mhm.
Um, and like I said, I'm grateful that I have a good team and I trust everybody on my team. Like I look at them like we all siblings, we a family. You know what I'm saying? Like that's one thing that I do. Like I said, I do love about my team. We not gonna let nobody else get jammed up, and
Mhm.
we not gonna get jammed up. You know what I'm saying? So like if that scenario was to happen, like if we don't intervene, we may get in trouble or suffer some consequences after that. But that's definitely like I can't say my team. We do that. We have each other back at the end of the day.
Okay, I want to ask one more question before we get out of here. Do you think police should bring programs back that we had when we was kids, like Dare and stuff of that nature, to help get some of these kids off the streets?
Yeah, yeah, I agree. It's actually back. Certain certain districts have different stuff going on with the it's called like caps, like with the when our parents go to the BB, that's that, that's usually the cap department and stuff. They they have a lot of stuff going on right now with the youth. I went and spoke that I went and spoke to a few students at Westinghouse High School like a couple months ago, and I was just talking to them about like vaping and smoking weed and stuff like that. And one of the kids was like, "Yeah, I'm actually in the CPD Junior Police Academy." And I'm like, "Oh, like that's gonna go a long way, bro, because you basically like going through some of the stuff we went through when I was in the academy, and you actually learning like the job description of a police officer. You know what I'm saying? And that right there, like having Dare, having like I think we had when I was in high school, we had like after school matters. Dare was there. Um, Dare after school matters,
Mhm.
and I think it was like one or two more other things that I had in my high school. But yeah, it's definitely there. And I'm getting ready to start a non for profit organization, um, kind of like a Big Brother Foundation.
That's
So
what's up.
yeah, so that's my goal.
I
Everything
I
should
think
be
a lot of these young people don't have a lot of guidance. If they don't have the guidance in their home, I think as a community and even the police, um,
mhm,
should everybody should get involved in getting help getting these kids off the street. It's just not it's the guidance, I think. If we had
I
more
agree.
guidance for I think all the other people, older people are still trying to be in the street, trying to be in the club and not worried about these kids. And I think if they had more guidance and people and good police officers to help them guide them in the right direction, we'll have a little bit less crime. Cause I think the crime is starting to skyrocket again because these kids have nothing to do.
No camps, no nothing. Some of them, some of the kids do it. Like I ain't gonna say all the kids. Some of the teenagers they do have jobs.
Mhm.
Um, some of I know in my district we have our that one department, the cash department. They do help out. They do stuff with the kids. They bring them to the station. Let them walk around. They do some little events with them and stuff like that. Like I do think that should be a mandatory for some of the kids that ain't even doing nothing for the summer. They just sitting around playing the game. Like get outside. You know what I'm saying? Like Chicago, we have a beautiful city. So it's like, all right, like if you ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like if you're not outside trying to be on the corner and stuff like that, like you should be
Oh
enjoying your life as a kid.
outside used to be so great for us. We had block parties, like the older people used to throw block parties. We
Yeah.
hang, go to each other houses as cousin because we a tight knit family anyway. But it was just like it was always something for us to do as kids,
Hmm.
you know. And I just feel like again, the older people nowadays are too worried about themselves instead of these kids, and that's
Yeah.
where I was going with that. I want to thank you cuz for coming on this show. I did want to talk to you about this because simple fact is the violence is getting bad and police and people don't trust the police. And I
Yeah.
want them to get a slight opinion about all police ain't bad, you know. But
Hmm.
I appreciate you. I pray for you. We pray for you. And then we tell you if you ever need to talk, just hit us up. We got you. And bet nobody mess with you because the knuckleheads in your family is coming. We don't play about you.
Yeah, that's one thing I brag about. Like, no, like, hey, my family don't play. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I do know at the end of the day, like, my family got my back, and I family is everything to me. And that's one thing that I always my wife always told me like you very family oriented. Like, yeah, like I love my family. Like when we party, we party.
Mhm.
So it's like I do feel like just I wish I could have a camera crew with me, like just one day, like just outside of work, so I can show them like as when I'm not at work, like this what I do, this how I unwind, this how I kick it with my people. You know what I'm saying? Like so
Mhm.
they can see like, oh, like all right, like every all of us are not the same. Like we're not the same. Like I go outside sometimes from time to time, whatever the case may be, because we need to get that air. I
Mm.
need to get the air, like take my wife on dates, take the kids out, and then also like still have family time where we all get up together and stuff like that. Like when you come in town, like all that stuff matter, like and that helps my mental health.
I'm glad you found your wife because that helps you through whatever you going through and stuff like that. She's a blessing to you. And I'm happy that you found somebody that understands everything about you. Y'all are so perfect together. I love that about y'all. I
Oh,
love
thank you, cuz.
my family happy in y'all relationships because I don't have one and I live through y'all. Y'all just be so happy and smiling and
Girl,
stuff.
that man is coming, girl.
I know God,
Hey,
mine really.
God gonna bless you, girl. Hey, God gonna spin a block for you, cuz.
I know, I know, cuz. I want to thank you. I have to end this, but I want to thank you. I love you and I appreciate you and thank you for being one of the good ones.
Thank you, cuz. I see you with your medals on. That's why I had to put mine on.
I know, we twinning. Love you, cuz.
All
Bye.
right, cuz. Thank you.
All right. If anybody, thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Talkers Cheap with Kianna J. I am your host, Kianna. Nope. Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Life Goes On podcast. I am your host, Kianna J. If nobody told y'all, I'm going to tell you I love you. Thank you. Bye.